As fall foliage hits its peak in New Jersey, one local adventure park is offering a whole new way to experience the season after dark and from high above the ground. TreeScape Aerial Adventure Park, located in Vernon, transforms into a glowing forest adventure this October with its night climbs on Friday, October 17th. That's tomorrow night. And Saturday, the 18th. And joining us now is Amanda Peacock, park manager at TreeScape, to give us the inside scoop on what guests can expect and how to make the most of these limited seasonal nights. Amanda, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
You bet. It's exciting that you're doing this. So, talk about what TreeScape Aerial Adventure Park is and where it's located.
Yeah, so TreeScape is located in Vernon, New Jersey. So it is an aerial adventure course. So what that can expect is basically you have a ropes course filled with different type of obstacles such as swinging logs, tight ropes, wooden obstacles, and then you do have zip lines that are mixed in between. So we have about 10 different courses to choose from, including a zip line only course. So the evenings get to include all of that in a 3-hour adventure, and it's under the magical lights and the nice, cool breeze of the fall.
So, who came up with this idea and when did you come up with the idea? Because it's a very clever concept to do this at night like this.
So I believe this existed prior to me joining the team. The park's been around, I believe, for about 10 years, and then the night climbs have existed for the past couple of years, but they've really taken off. We've introduced the Friday night climbs, but this upcoming Friday is our last one, but we will continue every other Saturday, so the 18th, the 1st, and the 15th of November before we wrap up for the season.
I love it. And talk about some of the activities you offer during the regular season.
Yeah, so during the regular season, we're open up to the public. So when school is out, it's a great activity for families to come out and do together. And then, we also cater to group outings. So you can bring, your corporate team, team building, birthday parties, school field trips, summer camps, like anything that you can think of. We're here to host you on the trees.
And what does the park look and feel like at night with all the lights? And how big is the park? How many acres?
So it is absolutely beautiful at night. We have the twinkly lights that go throughout the entire course. So it's pretty well lit up. It is acres just because we do have 10 different courses that span across the entire park. But it's really a magical setting just coming out. It's a completely different experience, very mellow, very fun, just a really good fall activity to do.
Oh, it sounds like a lot of fun. And who could take part in the night climb? Is it good for kids and families, or should you just be in good shape, or could pretty much anybody do it?
So pretty much anyone can do it. The youngest climber that we accept on a regular basis is normally 4 years old for our kids park. However, for the night climbs, we do cater to ages that are 7 and up. So we can have families that can come out. And, we do have different courses with each different levels included. So you don't have to be, the most athletic person. You can stick to the easier ones, work your way up. We really cater to all abilities.
I love that. And how do you make sure that people stay safe, especially younger people during the night events? Because I would imagine, I mean, if somebody, God forbid, drops even a few feet at night, that could be a challenge. So how do you make sure everybody stays perfectly safe?
So what's really cool about Tree Escape is when you come in, you get suited up by all of our trained monitors. You go through a very thorough briefing, and then you get to do practice afterwards. So we have a specialized connection system. They are called Clickets. It's basically a connection system that once you are attached on, you cannot detach yourself from the course until you are back on the ground. So you're connected the entire time up, secured in your harness, also being monitored by all of our trained staff to give you, tricks, help you out if you need it. It's you're in good hands.
I love that. And it's only happening on 2 nights, right? So how do people get tickets for that?
So the best way to get tickets, if you go on to our website, which is treescapeadventurepark.com, you can book online. There are limited spots. We're pretty popular when it comes to signing up, but the website's the best way to book your ticket.
I love it. And for someone who's never done anything like this before, why should they try it? What's different? What's the catch, the cachet, if you will, for someone to try this?
So it's a really unique activity. You know, you have your typical sports that you can go out and do, your typical, touristy things. However, this is an aerial adventure park. You're climbing different elements. You can really surprise yourself what you can accomplish. We really encourage for everyone to finish all of the courses, but it's just such a unique activity, and it's so satisfying once you get to finish and be like, wow, I conquered this specific element at this specific height. It's pretty remarkable.
And you have some obstacles there too, right? It's you could kind of challenge yourself with some of the obstacles. Talk about that.
Oh yeah, so we have a bunch of different type of obstacles. So we have starting with some like simple tight ropes, and then you have your wooden elements that kind of like almost like a seesaw. So when you go across, it can kind of surprise you. And then you have that balancing effect. And then we have some V nets. There's a tunnel you get to crawl through, even some action elements where once you connect on, you're like moving with the element. And then, of course, you're rewarded with some zip lines that are mixed in between.
And would you say that because of the fact that it's at night and it's dark, I mean, you're lit up, don't get me wrong, but it is still nighttime. So does that kind of add to the adrenaline rush because you don't necessarily know exactly where you're headed?
Oh, absolutely. Anytime I've talked about the night climbs, people are like, I don't know if I could do that. It's during the night. It seems a little bit more challenging. It's like, actually, no, it's a really, really cool vibe to come out at night. It really adds to the adrenaline, but in a good way, just because it's so like magical under all the lights.
And if it does get a little too chilly, because we might get temps into the 40s for this weekend, so is it okay to do this all bundled up with a jacket?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Everyone always starts bundled up, but as soon as you start, moving through, going through some of the more challenging elements, you'd be surprised how quickly you warm up.
Okay. And given the size of the park, how long would you say if somebody wants to get there at a certain time? What time should they arrive, and how long does it take to kind of work their way through all of what you have to offer?
So with each of the night climbs that we offer, I believe this Friday our first time slot begins at 6:30 p.m. and they go every 15 minutes for an hour. So we have 80 spots that we limit to the public each night, and it is a 3-hour ticket. That ticket includes access to all 10 of our aerial adventure courses and our zipline only course. So you have a lot to choose from when you're there for those 3 hours.
Is it a very long zip line? I've only done a zip line once. It was in, and you'll laugh when I tell you. The only time I did it was when I was severely overweight and I was in the Dominican Republic. And it was only after I thought about it that I thought, what the hell is wrong with me? Because of course, what went through my mind was if I fell, we weren't even near Santo Domingo. We were like 3 hours from Santo Domingo. Because like, if you fall, you're dead. But that was there. This is not the case. And this zip line that I did it went on for what seemed like 28 minutes. I'm exaggerating, I'm being hyperbolic here, but it did seem like a long time. It was fun for a little bit. But how long is the zip line? Have you been on it yourself and experienced it?
Oh, absolutely. So our longest zip line that we have is about 150 feet, but each of our zip lines range at different heights. So we have them ranging from basically 10 feet to 150 feet. So you won't feel like you're zip lining for 28 minutes, but it's definitely a good transition over to the next element.
Yeah, there is something to be said about letting go and having gravity sort of pull you because that's part of it, right? You're at a tiny angle, so that's what pulls you and gets the momentum going. And there's something to be said about being out of control. And I think that's probably what lends to the animosity to it is the idea that you don't stop midway. That's the worst thing you could do. Just let it go, and you are just letting that line take you where it will. But when you do kind of let go and let that happen, it is certainly fun.
Absolutely.
So, would you now, being that there are only 80 spots at a time, so do people have to make reservations as a group? Are there group deals that you're offering as well?
So we do offer group rates. The group rates start applying when you have 20 climbers or more. But the standard rates, you don't have to come in a big group. You can come as a couple, even, a single rider coming out. But they are $65 per person for those 3 hours.
Mhm. But you get a lot there for that 3 hour time. And do you have refreshments, food there and stuff?
So at our check-in spot, we do have, little concession snacks, some water to get you hydrated, Gatorade, stock up on those electrolytes, and we do have a couple of like snacks in terms of like chips or chocolate bars and whatnot. Um, but yeah, a good little refresher before get started on your adventure.
Yeah, you don't want to have a 5 course meal before you're going to be hanging from a rope high in the air. It's probably not a good idea, or else the people down below are going to get an awful surprise. But nonetheless, this sounds like a really fun time. I love the fact that you guys are offering this, and it's just very unique to have it the way you have it at night. Amanda Peacock, again, give us the nights. It's this Friday and Saturday.
Yes, this Friday the 17th, Saturday the 18th, November 1st, and November 15th.
And give everybody the wait. You say those dates again? I just want to make sure you got them right. It's the 15th
Yeah. So it's
and the
October 17th, October
17th.
18th. Yes, and then November 1st and November 15th.
That's what I didn't get. Okay, I didn't realize you had that second two dates there, November 1st and the 15th, if you don't make it this weekend. That is very cool. What's a website, once again, for people to get tickets and to get more information?
It is treescapeadventurepark.com.
And that's TreeScape. So it's literally TreEscape. So TreeScape, TreeScape. That is very, very cool. Amanda Peacock, Park Manager at TreeScape. Thank you so much. It sounds like a good time, and I hope people have a ball there. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
You bet. Wow. I mean, it's certainly for the adventurous, something you're going to want to do. And it definitely sounds like a great time this weekend.